Yo, quick little drive talk here. On the way home from work. Just got out of work from my 9 to 5. And man, I just been thinking lately, like, bro, I got 4 years into this shit. 4 years trading. 4 years learning about trading, day trading, online investing, crypto, stocks, forex, the whole enchilada. NFTs. Not really NFTs at all, but more like day trading them instead of like buying and holding. Similar with stocks, not really buying and holding, at least not yet. Just day trading, right? US 30, SPX, S&P 500, but on the where I day traded, it's obviously XPX. The main point of this drive talk is that I have a family member in Mexico that needs well, it's my aunt, my mom's sister. To keep it real, man, she's there's something wrong with her heart and she needs a surgery, right? And our whole family, man, we can't come up with 15K. We can't come up with 15K to help her out. I mean, that 15K is gonna come up sooner or later, I promise you. I'm gonna go right now try to look for a second job. Try to see if I can find myself another job, I'm still trading, I'm still doing everything. I'm not gonna fucking quit trading, right? But I mean, this second job is gonna help me, help our tia, my aunt, and obviously eventually it will also help deposit more into my trading account. So right now I'm gonna go scope out. I'm on the way to King City right now. I'm on the way back in town, and I'm gonna try to look for another job, a second job, right? Who knows if it's gonna be part-time, who knows if it's gonna be full-time. I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. Both of them are two jobs. Full-time jobs are 16 hours. We still got a lot of time, as long as we don't waste it, right? But back to the original point is, I got 4 years into trading, right? And I still cannot pay 15K to help out a family member yet. Eventually, I know I'll be able to pay 150K. We fucking need it, bro. It's just that I'm not fucking there yet, man. I know it's gonna take time. I know it's gonna take hard work. I know it's gonna take a lot of dedication. I know it's gonna take resiliency. All of these things that I'm supposed to do, I'm doing them, man, and I'm not gonna stop. The one thing that I will never ever do is quit. Quitting is not in my fucking dictionary, man. This is life throwing me a lesson. This is life throwing me a rock. I gotta learn how to catch it, because honestly, now if I think about it, this is not the first nor the last time that we're gonna get a message like this, that we're gonna get a fucking that message is not the first nor the last time that we're gonna get a message like this, that we're gonna get news like that, right? Difficult news. And man, I gotta prepare for it the next time. This time I wasn't prepared. This time I had my shield down. But guess what? Next time it's gonna be up. Next time the news might even be worse, and I gotta be prepared for it, man, because literally, it's sad to say, but people die. People pass away. People pass on, man. And if we don't have fucking money to bury them, what the fuck, man? It is literally my job to fucking feed my family, have food on their table, a roof over their heads, all of these things that they need, that they want. I gotta be able to provide. I'm a fucking provider. My dad literally risked his life for me to be in this country, man. My mom risked her life for me to be in this country. I gotta repay them. I gotta continue to grind. Look, I just made it back to town. Like I said, man, I'm not gonna I don't know if this is gonna be a drive talk or more like I guess it is a fucking drive talk. But the thing is, it's more like a memory, right? Because I know eventually I'll be able to pay for $150,000 surgeries, if anything, for anybody in my family, man. And the whole family right now can't fucking come up with 15K. Bro, 15K, we're gonna be going on trips worth more than 15K, man. It makes me kind of mad, man. It doesn't make me mad. It sparks a fire. It sparks a fire that I need to continue to grind. I'm not gonna quit. I'm not gonna stop. Whoever is watching this, man, if it's me in the future, you know exactly where I am. You know that I didn't stop. You know exactly what I needed to do, because I did it. You did it. I will do it. And if it's my kids, if it's my brothers, if it's my sister, if it's just a friend, if it's somebody, just a random person, nobody's random, right? Everybody's here for a reason. Think about it, the sperm race, right? How many little sperms flew into the mother's egg, right? Or tried to flew into the egg, and you won, right? Whoever is watching this, I won that race. You won that race. Everybody right here, all of these people right here, they won that race. Everybody, each of one of these motherfuckers is here for a reason. A lot of these motherfuckers don't find their purpose. Everybody has to find their purpose, right? It's in the, what is the wife of Thoth the Atlantean, the Atlantean priest king. His wife was Mayat, and I think one of her quotes was, "Know thyself, know thy heart, know thy soul, and know thy purpose." You have to know your purpose, bro. What is your purpose on this earth? My purpose right now, at least, it's what I fell in love with, fucking trading, right? I'm gonna fucking become the best trader that I can possibly fucking come, and help everybody else become that, right? And eventually I'm gonna hop onto other scales, right? I wanna be a black belt, and I wanna be a black belt. You know what? I will be a black belt in Taekwondo. I will become a fucking badass boxer. I'm not saying I'm gonna be pro. I'm not saying I'm not gonna, but I'm also saying that I will fucking become one of the fucking best boxers, at least amateur, right? Because pro, I mean, who knows? I might even become pro with my fucking craft, with my fucking achievements and my mindset, bro. As long as I don't quit, you could apply that to anything. The not quitting mentality, like literally just like Mamba. Rest in peace, Kobe. But you could apply that mentality to anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a mentality. It's not a fucking physicality, right? Obviously, you have to have the physicality. How Tim Grover says, you can't have for you to be great at anything, you have to have that. You have to have the talent. You have to be intelligent. You have to be competitive, and you have to be resilient, right? But if you don't have that talent, then you gotta go find something else that you're talentful at, right? For me, trading, I got the talent. I just need the resiliency. You need the intelligence as well, and I do need the intelligence. It's something that I've been building this past year, this past year, and this whole year. The whole last year was building resiliency. I'm done building fucking character, man. I'm done. This is the time for the win, and I haven't even been able to buy a challenge this year. First, my truck with the engine, right? Damn near $5,000 in my engine. But all of these things right here, right? The $5,000 of my engine, the $15K of my family member that they need in Mexico, right? Which is over there, it's equivalent to 200,000 pesos. All of these things with trading, I literally pay them like that. I'm just not there yet. Notice how I said yet, because I know I will eventually get there, man. And it's not even just gonna be with trading. I'm gonna dump that money from trading everywhere else. Fucking ATMs, laundry mats, laundry service, self-service car washes, Tony's Towing and Transport, Kilos Hearts and Paw. Even though Kilos Hearts and Paw, I don't care if it's gonna make money. Seawinds FX LLC, all of these things, bro. But trading is gonna be the tree that is gonna fucking fruit everything else, right? Muchas gracias por darme otro día de vida, otro día de trabajo. Muchas gracias. I commend it. Each and every one of those souls resting there. I commend it. I don't know why, but that's just something I've been doing lately. Every time I've been passing through a cemetery, I mean, it's just a reminder that we have another day to live. It's just a reminder that we have another day that we get to be grateful to live, right? Even these hardships right now that I'm going for, hardships, right? Because it's really a lesson. I gotta be grateful for them, because there's gonna be a day that I'm not gonna have these. And eventually I'm gonna miss these days, right? The better days are coming, the worst days are coming. The better days are coming. It's life, it's up and down. It's like trading, it's up and down, right? So peace and love to anybody watching. The video cut off, but peace and love to anybody watching this. And right after this video, I'm almost likely gonna put it right with the workout, which is gonna be today a leg day. Fucking leg day. I'm not gonna skip leg day. Nobody's supposed to skip leg day. If you're working out, never skip leg day. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I'm not gonna quit at my goals. You better not fucking quit at your goals. Whatever your fucking craft is, whatever your purpose is, whatever it is that you love to do, fucking do it. I mean, obviously it has to make money, right? Or find another purpose that's gonna make money. But it's like me. I wanted to play soccer, but I don't have the fucking skills to become a great soccer player. But if I did, I'd be playing soccer right now, right? You know, if you have the skills, you know if you have the craft, right? I know I have the skills to trade. That's why I will not ever quit. And that is currently my purpose. But once you master something, you could go master something else, right? But you have to master one thing at a time. I remember Tim Grover said that. Actually, he mentioned something about Michael Jordan mastered one aspect of the game, and then he switched on to another aspect of the game, and also Kobe, right? So about to go hit that leg day. We're mobbing around right now to go see if I think I'm just gonna go online as well to go see if I can find like jobs hiring anything outside part-time in la tarde, in the evening, something at night, literally something after my 9 to 5. I usually come out at 2:30, so something is gonna work out. Forklift driving, anything. I got my forklift driver license. All right, so anything, bro. I'm gonna fucking put my mind into this to find another second job, right? And it's gonna fund the trading as well. So peace and love to anybody watching. This is not really the end. This is more like you're gonna be watching me doing fucking legs right after this. So peace and love.
Going to be on the bench, so he goes to North Carolina, and I'm pretty sure Buzz Peterson was the number 1 ranked player in high school that year, and he also went to North Carolina. So Dean Smith comes in, and he makes them roommates, and Dean was like, he goes, Michael, I want you to meet Buzz Peterson. Buzz Peterson is the number 1 ranked player last year in high school as a number 1 recruit. And Michael first thing goes to Dean, he goes, he never played me. How can he be number 1?
Now let me ask you, when Dean did that, did Dean know Jordan's wiring, or he did not?
Yeah,
So he did already. So Dean knew how to poke.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. He's just trying to see, because he wanted to say, okay, I know what this kid has. Now, how I just laid something out for him. First day of practice. Let's see where he takes it. All right. And then Michael's response: how can he never played me? How can he be number 1? And now people say things. Now, are they actually going to do it? The one thing all these individuals had after each championship, while everybody was celebrating, they would come and give me a hug and say, what's next? What's next? Because they're like, we can't come back the same. If we come back the same, winning is no longer going to greet us. You know, I have a thing in the book where the bus takes you to the arena. Right? It says where it's going. You get on that bus, you win the championship, and then when you get back on that same bus after you've won the championship, the sign has changed. It doesn't say the destination to the hotel. It says this bus ride is back to hell. Because if you're not willing to take that ride, this will be your last win. You know every single successful person, every single one that you've had, every single win, the next one's a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit harder to get. You become more smarter, you become more educated, you know more, but you can't come back. You cannot come back the same individual, especially when you're trying to repeat at something that you've already won at. So to win the first Oscar, to win that second, Anthony Hopkins, it was 85. 85. I don't know when he won the one before that. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. But those things are just, they're so, and those are things you look for in individuals. It's just like, you know, what can I see in Game 6 after
Jazz?
No, this was with Kobe. Game 6, they lost to Boston.
Damn.
All right. Our job as parents, our job as individuals, it is the comfort. It is the comfort. All right. In order to see winning in all its glory, it wants to see you suffer. It wants to know what you're made of. It needs to know that, because think about all your wins. You get to visit them briefly. I know individuals that have won championships 12 years ago that are still celebrating those championships. All right. You look at your valuetainment numbers. All right. You look at your followers. You look at this. You know, I remember when, you know, you hit your, how many years ago was it when you hit the million? I remember the whole platinum.
2 years ago. 2 years ago when we hit $1 million.
Okay.
2 years ago when we hit $1 million.
All right. Where are you at now?
3 million.
Exactly. How brief was that? You're like, okay, great. I got to $1 million. I got my plaque. You did your little video. You did your thing. And now you're like, was there a big celebration at 2 million?
So is that it? No, it was not. We don't even remember celebrating 2 million. We're not even going to celebrate. So, but is it that? Like, there's a story by Patty McCord, who was a former chief human resource officer for Netflix. She worked with Reed Hastings for 14 years. She says one day we had a meeting. Our CFO brought everybody into the room, and he brings Reed in and says, "Hey, guys, guess what? What's that? We just crossed 5 million subscribers at Netflix." And Reed's like, "No way." Yes. He says, "Okay, awesome. And we're going to celebrate." He says, "Now I'm going to go out and get to 10 million." Everybody else was like, "No, but we got to celebrate." "Now that's great. Awesome. I'm going back to 10 million." There's stories. Is it, you know, is it a level of, I guess what I'm trying to get to is, okay, a question came the other day about Trevor Lawrence being picked up as number 1. He says, you know, whether I do this, my life is not just the NFL. You know, my life's big. I'm sure you follow the storyline.
Yes.
You know, my life's not
trusted. They did not trust easily. They did not trust easily. All right, you had to earn their trust every single day. You know, people always say, hey, they say you got to respect me. Well, I had to give them something to respect every single day. I had to work harder than they did. Yeah. I had to work harder than they did. You know, I tell the story about early down in the MJ days of how I won and how I wanted to separate myself. When I first started with MJ, there was no Fitbit, there was none of this information, there was none of this information available. So how could I do something that I knew was right, that would bring me closer to winning, that would bring me closer to him to say, hey, I'm paying attention to the details. So I would go to the games. All right, and this is years ago, and I don't even know how many people in this audience are going to remember this, but there used to be a recording machine called a Betamax or a VHS machine where you actually had to put a tape in and it would record. So I would record all the games, all right, because when I'm at the game, I don't have time. I'm trying to watch what I'm seeing. So the games would finish. By the time we got out of the locker room, it would be 10:30, 11 o'clock. Sometimes we'd go out and get a bite to eat. So I get home about 12, 12:30. I have to rewatch the game because the workout next morning is either at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 7 a.m. All right, I have to rewatch the game because I have to count his steps. I have to count his steps. Not only just count his steps. I got to know how many times he went right, how many times he went left. When he went backward, did he land on left?
How are you using that? How are you using that for what? How is that intel giving you?
To plan the next workout. So I'm like, okay, so if here it is, everybody, like, when people go work out and they think about training, they're like, okay, I'm going to do 10 reps on one side and 10 reps on the other side. All right. Well, if during that game, he's going one way more often than he's going the other, I can't work out the legs the same. I can't work out the body the same. You can't work out the same.
That's crazy.
You can't. And I'm doing this, and people were looking at me crazy. Well, why does he have a 15-pound dumbbell in one hand and a 30-pound dumbbell in the other hand? Or why does he have a basketball in one hand and he has a 40-pound dumbbell? And people were just like, what are you doing? What are you doing over here? And I'm like, this side of the body does not need the resistance that this side of the body does. Some days they may be equal, other days they may be different. One day we may all say, listen, we're only going to work this half of the body. We're only going to work this half of the body out. We're not even doing this half. This half is designated for recovery. This half is designated for a workout. All right, and those were the details that I paid attention to, and that's how I got when I spoke. They paid attention. They paid attention to me. Winning doesn't know.
In Tiger's life, I don't know if Tiger's Tiger without the father. You sit there and you think about something from 2 years old. So what if your dad's like, if Tiger's my kid, would Tiger be Tiger because of golf? Probably not. I'm not a golf guy. So you sit there and you think about some of these guys that get at the level that they get. How the mom pushed. People think dad was a disciplinarian. Tiger's mom was a disciplined one. Dad was a little bit more easygoing. You think about Michael, the story with his dad, where the one part in The Last Dance he says, his dad's like, why don't you just go out there and do what you're doing? I'm going to go here with your brother. And his dad was kind of challenging him. Playing some mind games with him. And he talked about it in The Last Dance, right? And Michael said, when you're going through it, it's very difficult. It's torture because you don't know what's really happening to you when someone's challenging you. I don't know the story about Kobe, who it was. Obviously, his father played, and I have that idea, but I don't know who, the role dad played. In a mathematical formula, you'll hear, Pythagorean theorem. If you take this and you take this and you take this equals this, right? If you want to make a bomb or if you want to make an explosive, you're in the military, you're a Navy SEAL. If you take this, you combine it with this, you combine it with this, it equals an explosive product that you're producing, right? If you want to make a milkshake, you take this, you combine this. Everything has a recipe. There's a recipe to the madness, specifically to the madness, not all the other stuff. If you were to take the recipe of a guy like a Tiger or a Kobe or a Jordan, I'm specifically talking about those who are not one of the best. I'm talking about the GOAT League we're talking about. Is there a weird family member that psychologically mess with you a little bit to challenge you? Is there a massive setback in life with a ton of pain? Is it someone you love so much that you want to make proud? Is it a massive public humiliation, where somebody embarrassed you? Is it the DNA of the individual? Because the same 4 kids could be from the same family, but only one of them ends up becoming. You have the same pretty much structure. How do you not come out of it in all 4? What would you say from your experience? And I don't even know if you have the answer to this, but what would you say from experiences? The 1% of the 1% that people read about, people write about, people watch documentaries about. What separates those guys?
Everything that you mentioned. Everything that you mentioned. Obviously, listen. You're not going to be if you don't have the genetics to be a great athlete, no matter how much training you do, you're never going to be able to reach that level. All right. That plays an important role. Picking the right sport. There's always been an individual that's held you accountable when you're young. It could be a parent, it could be somebody that's like really doesn't let you get away with things that pushes you, that forces you to do things. You look at the Williams sisters from tennis. They're
no question.
Yeah. There's